Hi everybody, welcome back to Creative Witchy Mama, and a big warm welcome to those that are first time tuning in here. For those that are returning, you'll see that I'm in a very different location. I'm actually in like my little spare room study studio space because I wanted to talk about today leaving the corporate world. So before I get into that, if you are enjoying this content, please, if you feel called, hit the subscribe and the notification bell. It really helps me grow the channel, get to know you, and then I can really understand what kind of content you guys want to see, and then I can pump that out as well. So, and if you do feel called to comment, like, share, it's just so humbling to see so many people jumping in on the comments, sharing my content, and also just tuning in. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. So so I really want to talk about what I guess my journey a little bit from corporate into what I'm doing now. Obviously, I am a solo mum, so that is a big part of my journey. But a number of years ago, I was knee deep in the corporate world. I was a wholesale manager. I was very busy. I did a lot of traveling. I earned a lot of money, and doing I was doing things that I loved because I was working for a company that I really loved at the time, and I had a great team. I had a great leadership team. My manager, was just wonderful, and like I was really in a great place in a way. But then it also through COVID, I realized that wasn't the company for me anymore. And what I needed to do and what my life had been bringing me back to do was, I guess, bringing me back to my roots, to creativity, through to enjoying life in a very different way, without all the things, without the consumerism, without the stuff, right? Because that is what I'd filled my life full of for a very, very long time. But what it really brought me to do was channel my artistic endeavors into this. So it brought me into creating, but also sparking my love and passions again. And I cannot tell you how excited I get when I get to see people not only wearing these, but when I put them on as well, because I just think, wow, I did this, and I love it. I really enjoy drawing. I really enjoy creating things. So, but not just stuff. I don't want to create just stuff that's going to get thrown in the back of a drawer. I want to create things that people can use, that people can wear, that people can use across multiple different platforms. And I think that is the big difference of where I've come from. A lot of the things I've had just have that single purpose, whereas my scarves, they are a scarf. They're a headscarf. They can sit on your bag. They can sit anywhere. They can you could have them as a tablecloth if you really wanted to. Like, you can hang them on the wall. They're pieces of art. So and I think that is the very big difference. I've gone from being in very fast paced environments of corporate life into a very slow, intentional way of life. And that for me is definitely the way forward. I am a crunchy mum, so I like to do things that are low tox, that are purposeful, that I'm living consciously. And it's the same with my products too. So I just wanted to quickly jump in here and show you a little bit about like what I've got. So I'm just going to pull a few of my designs up. So I have some like retro floral designs. You can see here. I have some pieces with some flowers. Like, I love protea flowers. I love like native flowers. I absolutely love them. So this is one of my favorites with king proteas on. So you can see I'm having to get on my tippy toes here to show you, because they're huge as well. So they don't look it when they're on my head, but they are really big. They're like over 1 meter by 1 meter, and they're very lightweight though. They're super lightweight fabric. I use like organic cotton, and it's very light. So it's like a voile, but it's not. It's called lawn. It's just a very it's a very light weave, and they're just so nice. They're so light on your head, but then they can also be super rigid as well, which is really nice. But yeah, I get to do this. So this is what I get to do for a living now, and it's honestly, it just warms my heart so much. I'm so glad I went into this path. It's not an easy path though, guys. Here's another one of my pieces. Love this one. Definitely inspired by a lot of my travel around Australia, seeing a lot of the outback, the desert, the sunsets, the indigenous surrounds. So, but yeah, it's definitely not an easy path. I've had a lot of ups and downs, and it kind of, my whole business went on hold while I was pregnant and having Harrison. So I'm now starting to get back into it because I'm into a good rhythm now as well, like with Harrison, with myself, with everything else that I'm doing. But this is definitely my passion, and my advice to you, if you're out there and you have a passion and you're not doing it, do it. Life is too short. It took me a long time to realize that I needed to get back onto that path. But in saying that, I think it was all meant to be like that. Like it's exactly how it was meant to be. I was meant to obviously learn a lot of things on the way, to then prepare me to go into running my own business, to creating, to just to be more mindful. I had to obviously go through all of those lessons to get there, and yeah, so I'm actually very grateful for the past. I'm very grateful for all of my experiences, the life that I was leading, in that corporate space. And honestly, I had some amazing time. And like I said earlier, I worked with some fantastic people. So, and now I work essentially on my own. I do all the drawing, I do, all the sewing, I do everything by myself. So it can be a little bit, it can be a bit lonely sometimes when you're doing everything on your own without that team environment. So it definitely, there's pros and cons to everything. But what I do know is that my passion is creating something for others to enjoy, and also for myself to enjoy too, because I enjoy looking at these pieces of art. I enjoy doing them. I can spend hours and hours and hours on my iPad drawing. Look, having Harrison definitely limits my time on how much I can do that. But pre-Harrison, I would spend all night sometimes drawing on the iPad, which seems crazy, but it just used to happen. I used to get taken away and just get into my zone, I guess. So doing my passion project for my little business, my side hustle, whatever you want to call it, it's really changed me. It's changed how I view things. I even went and studied my MBA. So I have a master's in business, and I can basically take everything that I learn and apply it to my own business, which is amazing. Learning those tools and having all that knowledge behind me, I can put that into my own business as well, which is great. But yeah, it's really, I think you got to be passionate about something that you're doing as well. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to get up and do that job in the morning. Because I know, like, when we're in the grind and we're doing it, we're kind of doing it for the paycheck, right? That's certainly how I used to be. Now I'm doing it because it's not just about the paycheck. It's about like the passion, the love that I get from it, the pleasure that I get from creating. It's amazing. It's honestly second to none. So so that, I guess, is my little journey through corporate. And there's so much more that I can talk about, and I will in some future videos. But I wanted to also shout out to all of those that have kind of come out of the rat race a little bit and have started doing their side passions, to, whether it's to create money, whether it's just that creative outlet, whatever it is, good on you, and go for it. Anyone else who's sitting on the fence, just go for it. Life is too short. Grab it by the horns and do it, because it's not going to do it for you. So, but do trust that the time is always right for you as well, because I think that for me, I had to go through a lot of lessons before I could get to where I am now. So, so thank you so much for tuning in today and going on my little journey with me. If you are liking this content, please hit the subscribe, the notification bell, so you do know when I'm uploading some new content. It is variety of things. I'm a very varied woman, but I'm just really sharing my experiences and on what I can, on what I know. So thank you again for tuning in. Much love. Bye.